is a very important culture or belief in our culture is that money is like everything,
Mm.
right? If you don't have money, you don't get the respect you deserve. And I'm born from this kind of culture in my family. So that's why they wanted me to like really study well, really study hard in order to have a job, right? That's like pretty common to all Asian cultures here. So I studied hard, and then I got into secondary school, and I find that like studying is not for me. And then I joined a group of friends, and I got dropped out by my secondary school. I joined a group, and I got dropped out, and then I joined a gang. You know, I joined a gangster, and they introduced me um, to drugs. I didn't know what drugs was like at back at my young age, right? And so I gave it a try, and I loved it. You know what I mean? I loved it because um, when you take drugs, right? All the when the biochemistry takes in, when the chemicals release in your body, it's like unbelievable. And I was addicted to it for quite some time already, for quite some time. And I think about 4 to 5 or 6 years later, I was about 20 to 21, I guess. Oh, by the way, in that context, in that addiction context, right? Because I had no money to pay for the drugs.
Mm.
So eventually I've become a drug lord. And from there, I started to learn about, how to grow a business, how to manage people, how to um, get as many downline as you can to just to help you to sell the drugs, just to help you to supply it and go to, our neighbor town to sell the drugs. And I would say I'm pretty well known at a time in my industry, in drugs industry. It's quite a success, I think, because at the age of about 19, at the age of 19, I'm at a point at where I was trying to laundry all the black money or dark money from the black market, and it was quite a lot, and I was trying to laundry all the money. So I started to take over some business to just to laundry the money. When faith or when God puts a joke on you,
Mm.
that context didn't go well as I was about to laundry that money, but I got arrested by cops, by narcotics, and they sent me into prison, and they charged me with a death sentence.
Wow.
Yeah, which means that if when you got arrested, right, you are not they are not gonna give you that punishment straight away, because you have to like fight with the court to try to prove that, oh, you are not doing this, right? So I was trying every way that I can find at a time to like really get myself out of these charges, which is the death sentence. Um, so at that time, inside the prison, I was facing like death sentence, and I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know how to get through it. Nobody was there for me, and I was facing, all the pressure in my mind, um, it hurt my emotions, it hurt my physical body, because when you feel bad, right, your physical body is also um, will be very terrible, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was like, facing all the anxiety, and I couldn't predict what could happen next. Yeah, every single day was a struggle for me in the prison because I didn't know who can come here to save me until I got help from my father's friend. He went to hire a lawyer. Of course, he's not paying for that, right? So I was inside that room facing that judge in front of me. And I think that's where another life ticket to me, I would say. Because the grace offered to me by the judge it was really another turning point to me. So that judge, she didn't punish me with a death punishment because I think the lawyer did something back then. I didn't know what he did.
Mm-hmm.
That amount of drugs that I was carrying was lowered until a point or a level that they can only charge me with self-taking drugs. Yeah. So that judge didn't punish me with a death sentence or death punishment. So I admitted my sin over the law, and she just find me like very, very heavy. Yeah. So after that, I paid all the fine, I paid all the lawyer, and it was like, you lost everything in
Yeah.
one day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As you can see, if you have watched all the Hollywood movies, it's all the same texture, it's all the same detail. It's like you got so many money from selling drugs, and suddenly one night you lost all your money. Yeah. So I paid everything. I paid the fine as well. So I got out. It's another life ticket to me, and I really appreciate that. But that is like another page is yeah, you are flipping another page already.
Yeah.
And when you try to write something, when you try to write some note, when you flip another page, it's a blank page.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's a blank paper. So I was lost and I was blank about my future. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know begin from where. So I went to my father's restaurant to work for him. I was still lost and I was still looking for for something to align with myself or spark me to do. And but at that time I still have that that habits of taking drugs.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, enough is really enough, because I can't spend the rest of my time with drugs, because in my mind I was like, I don't want to be like all the drugs taker out there, because at their 40, 50, 60, they're still taking drugs, and I don't want to have that same journey like them. So I start from there, from this mindset, I started to go to a gym first. Yeah, I started to, I started from running a lot, and then hit to the gym, train my body. And slowly from there, I find that I was able to, really take control of myself, really take control of my thoughts, of my emotions, kind of stuff. I started to build a habit of, reading, learn from people around you, and go to church, join another gang of friends, join another group of friends, to really just get myself out of that atmosphere,
Yeah.
from taking drugs.
Mhm.
From there, I met my coach. So he taught me everything about like mindset, how to lift something heavy, how to do exercise properly, how to work out like really high intensity stuff. If you know CrossFit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So the sport that I'm in right now still CrossFit. And then few years later, uh, my coach asked me to like go to get a certificate and go to compete, kind of stuff, compete in competition. So yeah, I listened to him and I went to compete. And yeah, I got some achievement back then, like from a drug dealer to an athlete. It's like unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I got few podiums, and that's where I eventually like really sparked myself, which is from sport. And I got myself certified, and I started coaching. It was about 25 years old at that time. Yeah. And from there, I started coaching. I started to teach people about like mindset thing, about how to stay focused, about taking action, about really about unleashing your inner potential. Yeah, because I believe that people are not living up to their potential.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people are not living up to their power, even though they, like I said, they have had a positive mindset, a positive thinking, but they are still not taking action. Yeah, it's like that bridge is lost, bah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from where they are to where they want to go. And because from my own experience, I knew if I don't take any action, I wouldn't get to where I really want to go. Right? Because if you're addicted to drugs, and if you don't find a way to get out from there, you will always stay in that same situation, same level.
Mm-hmm.
So because I had that mindset of not wanting to live a lifestyle like 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old, and still taking drugs. I don't want to live that kind of lifestyle. So that's how I took some big action there. So I started coaching at about like 24 or 25 years old. And up to this point, I have the privilege to be able to serve people from more than 600 leaders, entrepreneurs, business owners, executives
Mm-hmm.
from industries like, Amway, Alliance Bank, Toyota, Mercedes-Benz, uh, DG. Yeah, from all these different leaders, I have the privilege to be able to serve them and really help them to achieve something that they they never expected, and they get to live life on their terms,
Mm-hmm.
right? That is like really one of my lifelong missions, which is help people to unleash their potential and help them to live life on their terms. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. That's pretty much that. That's pretty much my experience.
True what they say. It's sometimes you have to listen to your intuition. And I believe
Yeah,
that's what you truly did. You listened to yourself at one point and said, guess what? This is not for me. This is not who Keith is. Keith is not a drug lord of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Keith is somebody that wants to serve the community, not drugs, not get them addicted, but serve them. So therefore they're able to gain their potential and become all they can be. And that's exactly what you've done. And I'm very happy that you've changed your ways in that sense. And that's one thing that I know about CrossFit, you're able to push yourself a lot more through through CrossFit compared to other, I guess, form of exercises as well. Questions I would love to ask you is, what was your family thoughts were? Because I assume at one point they found out that you were at one point a drug lord and selling drugs within the community.
yeah. So you want to know my family's thought, right?
Yeah.
They were frustrated,
Mm-hmm.
but because they couldn't control me at that time, because they know I used to have this very bad temper. Yeah, because it's like when you are not living in aligned with who you are, you will always have this you know what I mean? The bad temper, negative emotions happening around you. Yeah, so they 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 don't really talk to me, but all I did was, you want money? All right, get this. You want money? Get this.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, money is kind of like everything in Asian culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but up until one point, I find that money is not everything.
Very true.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
true.
you can have the most money and you are still not feeling fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah,
One thing I've always learned is that you could have, to tell you the truth, all the money in the world, the fact that you cannot take it further than the grave. And to one
yes,
point that you mentioned, your death sentence, if you had the death sentence put on you, you cannot, money's not going to take you anywhere. It's a
yeah,
material thing. And if you're not happy and you're not truly within yourself and find that peace, it won't take you anywhere. Going back to your family, I'm not sure if your parents are alive or not. Have you talked to them about it or reached out to them or said you're sorry or have that remorse talk conversation with them?
yeah. Um, I said sorry to my family a lot,
Mm-hmm.
especially my grandmother. I didn't really uh, talk more detail about my family background.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm born in a single parent family lifestyle because my father left us when I was born.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so my mother was still a teacher at that time, and my grandmother, who is the superwoman who takes care of me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's why I love talking with her. I love supporting her in any way that I can do, and that's why I love my grandmother. That's why after that case, after that experience, I said sorry to my grandmother. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I wasn't mature yet at that time, so I'm sorry, grandmother. Yeah, kind of like this kind of style.
Mm-hmm. I love how you said that. I honestly, I put myself in your shoe just now when you're talking. I felt like just now you kind of went back in time just now when you were saying that, and I could see it in your face and your expression. and I saw you pitching your grandma right in front of you and how remorseful you were. That's exactly where my mind just went just now. And I could see the love that you have for her, and for your, and what she's done for you, because I honestly believe that if she wasn't there to be someone to guide you and to love you, to be honest with you, your story or your life might be something different right now.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And of course to my father and my mother, because I get to meet my father at, I think, around 13 years old.
Mm.
Yeah, we are still contacting each other now. I think it's really because of that experience we got into this experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I I said sorry to both my mother and father, because I I get into so many trouble and because of me, and I'm really feel so sorry about this. So after that experience, of course, I slowly build up or develop that relationship with them.
I'm not sure, so I must ask this question now. Seeing that you got out of dealing with drugs and so on and so forth, are you still, do you still see those people that you were associated with now? And if so, how do they view you now, or how do you view them?
Now, yes, I still, not all of them, but people that I brought them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, they used to follow me. They used to get all the supply from me. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I only like meet them. I don't meet the bosses. I don't meet the people on top of me, because I know that if I meet them, they will try to persuade me to, do back the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to take that risk. Yeah.
Good. That's very good.
All right. So, yeah, when I get to meet them, my people back then, now they view me as someone who is very strong and who has a strength in willpower. Yeah.
Yeah.
They always address me or label me that way lah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm this kind of person in their head.
Yeah. So you said something that I don't want to say bothers me, but because this is real talk, no filter, I'm going to ask it anyways.
No
Um,
problem.
you mentioned that you don't want to see their boss because you feel like you might slip in a sense, right?
Yeah.
So what's truly preventing you from not slipping into your bad habits? Because I look at you, and as we talked before, beforehand, I truly see that you've matured from what you were before into someone that wants to serve the community and ensure that they show that they are, or their potential within themselves, and their
Yeah.
potential is not selling drugs or taking drugs. Their potential is, again, making the community around them better,
Yeah.
and making them to be the best human around them. So I must
Yeah.
ask that question: what is truly stopping you from going down that path again?
Okay. So first, I will not have the opportunity to meet them
Mm.
because they are still doing the same thing, I guess. I'm only guessing here
Mm.
because I didn't get to meet them like so many years already. But what I heard from Facebook, Facebook is really a good platform. Yeah. Even though I want to like help them or how, yeah, but I guess they will not listen to me, even though I wanted to help them.
Mm.
Because
Yeah, I'm gonna say this for the sake of me giving some advice for you.
yeah, cool.
It might be best, if I know you want to help people, but it might be best to stay away in all honesty, because again, I look at
Sure.
you and you're a changed person. And I honestly, I do not want you to slip into that past life before. As you mentioned earlier, life is kind of like a book in which an empty book, and you write your own stories into that. I believe that you've hit a point in a book that you don't want to rewrite or go back on those pages. So it's best to not, if I were you, look at your book as in it's an always moving forward book,
True.
not
Yes.
not a book in which you could turn the pages back and relive those moments.
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm.
Well said, buddy.
Thank you. The death sentence, and this is where I'm going with this as well,
All right.
because that at a young age to see a judge first saying, "Hey, you're going to get the death sentence." Everything that you have done up until that point, you felt like, "Hey, I'm on top of the world." As we mentioned earlier, you were the king in a sense,
Yeah,
right?
true.
But at the end of the day, when the law comes down and hands you a death sentence, that word king is no longer there no more. Now you're just a regular human being with X amount. Now you have, in honesty, and I just thought about it, you have an expiry date.
True.
Right? So
Yeah.
take me to that moment when the judge says, "Hey, I'm going to give you the death sentence." What was going through your mind, if you can recall it?
What came to my mind? At first, I thought it could be solved very easily
Mm-hmm.
because I have had some relationships with the police. But when this case got up, all my friends they didn't want to help me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of sensitive topic here.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We could
they
skip
didn't
it.
want.
That's okay.
It's okay. No
All right.
filter, man. I love the channel.
Thank
That's
you.
why. Yeah, that's why I said my friends. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't mention who. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
my friends didn't want to help me. So that's why I turned to my father's friend. Yeah, and what came to my mind is really I have a full series of questions, which is about, am I going to die?
Yep.
Yeah. Is today my last day on earth? Yeah. And what's really hit me was that I haven't had a taste of a fulfillment life yet, a fulfilled life yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 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 all these crazy questions that came through my mind. Yeah,
Exactly. And that's where I was going with that. And I remember I was talking to one of my friends about this, is that in all honesty, you could have a group of friends and you guys could be experiencing the same thing, but each individual experienced life in a different way.
true.
And when you think about it, and like you said, your friends did not talk. Guess what? You were by yourself in a situation. Oh, you know yourself, and your friends know yourself, everything that you have done in the past. And you're probably hit that point is it's like, am I really the only person getting punished for this? Right. And that's when I was talking to you and asked you that question is, and I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know if you have immediate family, a wife, kids, girlfriend, whoever it might be. It's that you have to somewhat look at those things. Look at, you said you have two families now, one on your dad's side and your mother's side. It's that, and like I said, and this is just my personal advice. I know I'm lecturing you a little bit on this. It's that if I were you, don't go back, because look at how much you're going to be giving up, because this is your path. This is your way of living. And I look at you again, you are mature, you are, it seems to be more happier, and you understand that money is great. And I'm not going against money being bad. And yes, they say money is the root of all evil. but there's something that money does. Money is able to provide a roof over your head and provide for your family and provide those luxury things. But when you make money a priority over all things,
Yeah.
that's when it becomes a root of all evil, because you have to
True.
make sure, one, your first thing is your intuition, is yourself. In honesty, I know people are giving me crap about this, but again, this is real talk. In honesty, you have to look after yourself first, because if you don't look at yourself first, you cannot help and serve those people under you. And I don't mean under you as in, hey, I'm greater than everybody else. It's those people that you care about, is those people that are under you, which is your family, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I went for that. And that leads me to the next thing that I wrote down here was the price of freedom. You mentioned again, you had so much money and you saw it disappear just like that. You paid the lawyers, paid all these fees, and like you said, you had to pay a hefty fine for sure.
Yeah.
But that was your price of freedom. That was your second chance in life, and life saying, hey, that's great that you worked and you did all this stuff from the age of, I think, 13 or even earlier than that to the age of 2021. It's the fact that, hey, now you're going to pay for it big. But guess what? You're starting from ground zero. But at least you could say this is your lowest part. But now you can work your way up and build to be something better and greater within life.
Yeah, true. I got into a car accident. And actually, because of that car accident, I thought about this and I said to myself, I only get to live once.
Yep.
So instead of living unfulfillingly with my father, I said I want to go for another try. Yeah. That's how I started, like really take the leap of faith to really get myself certified as a coach. And from that car accident, I started to chase after my dreams, like really writing down big goals, really writing down 10 years, 20 years, 30 years goals to really go there step to step every single day. Yeah, that's how I really get to have a taste of a fulfilling life on my terms. Yeah, that's kind of like the start, or I would say another block of that page, another topic, of that page, of that journey.
That's good.
Yeah.
I want you to do me a favor. I know we talked about this earlier. I'm trying to read what it says in your background. It says, if you fail, you want to read that one to me?
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Good. And that's exactly what this whole thing is about, right?
Yes, man.
Exactly. Because I look at it, as we talked about, and you mentioned it, is that a lot of people, they hear advice and they, what's it called? They hear, like you mentioned something about taking action versus doing action, as in you could take someone's advice and a lot of people, I think, I'm trust me, I'm a subject of it and a victim of it as well. And I think a lot of people they hear a lot of advice, but then you take the ones that I guess are easier or more suitable in your situations, and you go with that, leaving out the grander scheme of things. I'm pretty sure with your motivational stickers in your background there and my motivational stickers here, the only reason why we do that is that constant reminder to always be better than we were the day before, and those advice as well that we give ourselves.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
High performance coaching. Yeah, it's kind of like what Tony Robbins and Brendon Burchard do. Yeah, it's just to help people to live in aligned with their purpose, help them to unleash their inner potential. But I think my strength, my niche is that to help them to master focus. Yeah, because if you think about this, time is the most valuable asset, But when people say they don't have time to achieve their dreams, it's not true.
Very true.
Because if you follow the trail to how they spend their time, it's actually they're doing things that do not serve them at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So time is not the so having extra time is can be done, right? So what's the next valuable asset? Which is really your focus.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because only when you mastered your focus, you know how to manage your time. Yeah.
That's very
So
true.
that is like,
yeah.
It's really about how you manage your attention, how you manage your concentration, and put that concentration on things that matter. Yeah. And that's why, focus and really the willpower is really like kind of like my niche, because I get to experience this myself, and I know what it takes to master focus, right? Because up to this point, I could be an idiot if I don't know what it takes to master focus, to master your willpower. And when you talk about willpower, when you talk about focus, right, it doesn't take so many effort to, force your willpower to exhausting your willpower to force attention. You don't have to go through that.
True.
Yeah. Would it be okay if I really shared something to you? Like, it's actually a 4-step system in order to serve your community and really
go ahead
to
yep
grow your channel.
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah. The first thing is really the first step is, it's actually a 4-step formula. The first step is always to have a compelling future, because you really need to figure out how do you want to live your life, like 10 years later, 20 years later, 30 years later. At the end of the book, at the end of the last few pages of your book, how do you want to live it? Yeah. That's why I said having a compelling future is always the first step, because we don't want to stay on the same level like every single day, right? At least try to grow 1% every single day by reading, by enrolling online courses. Now it's like we can get access to all these different resources like very easy already. True?
Very true.
Yeah. But you will not grow as much as you can if you only study that online course but you don't take action. Right? So having the compelling future is the first step. Second step, which is your strategy, which is how you take action. Yeah. So strategy could be get a blueprint, get a proven blueprint, get a mind map, get a, figure out how to go there every single day, every single year. Like really list down as specific as you can in order for you to get there or earn how many you want, or get a compelling relationship. Yeah. It's really about your strategy, because you don't want to waste so many time on trying to figure out things yourself. Yeah, that's why getting a blueprint from other people, it's really gonna save you a lot of time, right? And that is what strategy is about. And the third step, or the third key here, is really solve your inner conflicts. Yeah. We all have big dreams, right? We all have like something that we want to achieve, but not many of us really doing something to go there. because of all these inner conflicts in ourselves, in our head, especially the self-talk, you know. Yeah, we all doubt ourselves from time to time. And it's fine. It's fine because in this kind of journey to achieve the things you want, doubts and disappointments are constant companions. I'll say that again. Doubts and disappointments are constant companions.
Yep.
You are gonna face a lot of challenges in front of you, a lot of obstacles in front of you. But if you learn how to solve your inner conflicts and really take one step at a time, like step to step, like a ladder, like a, you know, you'll eventually get there, right? Because if that goal is really, if that future is really compelling to you and you say, I'm going to get it no matter what it takes, I'm going to do it. You're going to find a way.
Very true.
Right? Yeah. So solving your inner conflicts is really another breakthrough for all of us. And the last step, which is get a friend. Get someone to support you. Join a community, join a networking group, or try to tell your parents about this if they support you, because I know I don't. I don't get any support from my family. Yeah. Get a friend is really about like get someone to motivate you all the time. Get a coach, get a mentor, you know, hire some business coach to guide you. Yeah, really. Or it can be your wife or your husband to support you in your dreams to achieve that. Yeah, that is really the 4-step system from me. First, have a compelling future. Second, the strategy you use. Third, solve your inner conflicts. And the fourth step is to really get a friend to support you in that journey, because it's not going to be easy.
No, it's not. I'm going to leave it at that because that's very, I don't want to mess that up. However, I just want to change a couple things. If just for me, personal, this is just my personal opinion. I think step 3 and 4 should be step 1 and 2, because I believe that you need to first fix what is internally the issue first.
All right.
Find someone first as support. Fix internally, then you could have a more clearer vision of where you want to go in life. Just my personal opinion. It's not okay. Your program, not mine.
All right, it's okay. No worries, man. But thank you, man. Thank you, buddy.
Yes. Keith, and you mentioned about support, and you don't have family and so on and so forth. My channel is growing. We're all here to support each other. So you went from having, if you say no family and whatever, you got me and you got the family that's behind me as well as subscribers and followers and the viewers. We're all here to support you, Keith. So keep up the good work.
Buddy. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to end it at that. And Keith, it's been a pleasure.
All right. It's my pleasure to, to be able to hear, to be in your podcast and really help you to serve your community. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Keith. Take care.
No worries.